that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Yeah, so he deceives women into thinking they're equal with men. He deceives us into thinking that we're black people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Deceive the so-called Latinos into thinking they're Latinos when they're really from the Northern Kingdom, man. You see? Everything is a deception. Everything that comes out from this devil, his education system, it's a deception.
Sure.
Oh, Christopher Columbus, he came here trying to find India. That shit was some bullshit. That's some bullshit, man. He didn't come here trying to find India. If that's the case, then why did he have Hebrew interpreters? See? So that shows you why it's going to be so impactful that he actually is destroyed. Because lies will no longer prosper after that.
Sure.
We will no longer be deceived by this damn demon. Because how can we truly serve our powers when there's deception in the earth? When you got our people that are bugged out into all these different philosophies. So that's why Esau got to go down.
When that military is done, there ain't no saving this guy, man.
Yeah.
So that's why I say his
last hope.
His angels were cast out with him. That's speaking of the military, man. The Air Force, the Army, the Marines. That's what's keeping people in line right now.
All right.
Hey, well, check this out. This is the book of Job 27, and I'm gonna start at verse 16. It says here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 17. It says, "And I break the jaws of the wicked and pluck the spoil out of his teeth." Man, who's the spoil? The Israelites. Teeth represents this military, his power. So it said he broke the staff of the scepters of the rulers, man. So his military is what's backing his dollar up, man. Because through military invasion, they're able to push that shit, man. Like in World War II, they entered the World War II at the last minute to establish the Federal Reserve note as the fucking currency of the world, man. Because I believe for that, what was the British pound?
Yeah, the British pound, I believe so, yeah.
So then World War II, they was able to establish the dollar, man. That was the whole concept of setting up the Fed. Because when they set up the Fed back in 1914, 1913, that wasn't the world reserve currency. Because a lot of them jakes, a lot of them demons, Edomites wasn't on board with the fact that they were trying to establish that as the goal of the world. So World War II was already planned out after the First World War, you know? So like the brother was saying, man, that power structure is going to be done away with, that T. That's his last hope, and that's looking grim, you know?
It's going to be done extraordinary, man. Because, I mean, if we can go to 2nd Ezra 13. That speaks on YAHAWASHI making his return.
Let's get that. Get that revelation. That's going to lead right into that.
This is 2nd Ezra 13.
Yeah, we've been going for over 2 hours.
We can start at verse 5. This is basically a prophecy speaking on World War III and the arrival of YAHAWASHI in that time. And it says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, there is gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And I behold, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it."
And that's the Lord in his chariot, because all those forces come to subdue him. That's his opposition. That's the men of the armies, man, of the nations. The armies of the nations. Because that's a threat. A mountain-sized chariot, that's the biggest threat. To where they're gonna shift focus from fighting each other into trying to fight the Lord.
Yep.
Go ahead.
That's why I say a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven. That's all the different nations that's coming in the valley of Jehoshaphat to fight this war. But verse 6, "But I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not."
Meaning he looked up and he couldn't see the end of the chariot in the sky because it was so big. Like when the plane is flying, you can see the outline of the entire plane, right? Because it's a certain size. And even planes are humongous. Planes got the passenger capacity of what, like a few hundred?
Yeah. 200.
Some of
easy.
them, 200, like the jumbo jets. But you can see a jumbo jet flying through the sky. This chair is gonna be so big, you can't even see the end of it, man.
Yeah.
That's like 50,000 jumbo jets put together. So imagine how many people can fit on there.
Like in Independence Day, you saw the fathership show up.
Yeah, you couldn't see the end of the
It
sky.
had thousands and thousands of like
Baby chariots.
767 size chariots coming off of it.
Right.
Like that's how big the ship was.
Scripture say, well, that's what when it says that he came in a white horse, and behold, the angels followed them in white linen. Those baby ships was coming out of the fathership, man.
Yeah.
You know, because in Independence Day they showed you how big the ship was. So big, it blocked out one horizon, you couldn't see to the next. You know what I'm saying? Then you had the baby chariots coming from under there.
Right,
That's that Revelation 19:11, man. When it says they followed him on white horses. That's cold-blooded, man.
Yeah, that's gonna block out the sun,
It
literally.
Second Ezra 13, verse 7.
Some shit, boy.
But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight.
Damn. So he put the spirit on them to fight. Though they was afraid, like, come on, man. Like, just the concept of a chariot itself. Let's just say if we seen a chariot, let's just say from that building all the way to that building. And that's pretty goddamn big. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty big. Just imagine how many people can fit from that building in this park all the way to that building. You can fit a couple of hundreds of thousands. You can fit thousands, literally 1,000 motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
That's considered a big ship from here to there. And look how strange that looks. That looks very strange, and it's not, it's out of the norm. So imagine when you see this gigantic ship in the air. No sun, no moon, just complete darkness, shooting lasers out. People gonna literally give up the spirit. That's why it says man's heart fell in the fear of the things that came on the earth. Like, god damn. And then Esau is really gonna try to shoot. That's another reason why Esau created the rockets too. Not only to scare the other nations into the New World Order, but he knew that he was going to have to encounter the Lord. Because what president was that? Was it Nixon or Reagan? Said that we may have to fight a force and come together from a force that's outside of this world. So Esau knows, man. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And lo, he saw the violence of the multitude that came. He neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Why I say violence? Because they were literally shooting off high-powered weapons at these things, man. They were shooting nuclear rockets at it, RPGs. They were literally trying to stop these things because that's Esau's final attempt on holding on to that kingdom. It's basically a fight out of desperation. But he's gonna lose miserably.
Because the winner of World War III rules the earth.
King of the hill.
Honestly, this because they call World War I the war that ends all wars, but this is it. But it says, verse 10, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
That represents the rays that's coming out of the chariots. Beams of light that's going to disintegrate anybody that opposes the Lord. If you're a demon, you walk against the Lord's ways, you're going to be disintegrated. And the first ones are going to be those fighter jets and the armies of the heathen, right? Because there's going to be thousands of ships over there, man. Aircraft carriers, tanks, infantries.
Yeah, that's
right.
Submarines.
That's what
subs, and they all gonna get hit with beams, man.
That's why that devil Bill Nelson was bugging out, man.
Yeah.
He's a real demon, man. He's a damn devil.
He look dead, bro.
Bill Nelson is the director of NASA. You never seen this
Dude
guy.
look dead as hell, man.
He had the little devil
talking
on him.
about the UFO.
Yeah, he's a real demon, man.
He looked like a demon.
Look at him, bro. He looked like, look at him, bro.
He looks like Satan.
Nigga, straight Satan. It was so spiritual because when he did the press conference on, you know, NASA got the red little design on the light.
Yeah.
It looked, bro, the spirit so cold, it made it look like this man had a double horn coming out his head, bro.
Yeah.
It says, 2 Ezra 13, verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. and burn them up, everyone.
It fell with violence, so that means they're gonna get basically their whole bodies ripped apart by these lasers, man. Turned into dust. You know?
So here it is.
There it is, we going into the kingdom, but yet Jake has their kingdom here.
How long they can do that?
As long as a nigga got a box Chevy on 28s, he's good, you know what I mean?
Half of these niggas don't even got jobs, so half of this shit ain't even in their name. Like a lot of them drug dealers that drive box Chevys, a lot of them get them cars confiscated and they never see it again. Like most of these niggas, they may have them cars for about another week or so.
These niggas get drafted, man. And we speaking out right now, World War III, and the multitude, it's gonna be niggas, man. Cause Esau, he ain't gonna let a army full of transformers in there. No, he need able-bodied men, as you say.
You think any of these niggas care about the Lord, man?
Yeah.
Hell to the no. So they ain't gonna be able to do this shit. This shit really affects our spirit. Seeing Jake out here like this.
Right.
They was running lights though. They ran that whole light.
I pray you saw get every last one of them niggas.
See the cops rolling up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
they
of
are.
niggas, bro, you'd be surprised what happened to them guys, man. A lot of them drug dealers, they ain't gonna be around too much longer, man.
But I'm gonna finish it off. It's 2nd Ezra 13, verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, everyone. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived,
So basically,
but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw
that
this, I
looked
was
like
afraid.
a beam of light mixed with fire and electricity. That's basically what it's
Right.
telling you what it looked like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you can imagine that in your mind, and that's something that you would think is like, damn, you get hit with that, you done.
You are, yeah.
You're done, man. You know what I'm saying? You're completely done. And that's why the scriptures tell you in Habakkuk also it describes the coming of YAHAWASHI. That's why it says he had the beams in his hand. It was talking about those laser beams because Esau doesn't have any technology that can fight that.
Right.
Why? Because it's a spiritual technology.
Yeah.
It's something that can't be made up with using the elements of this earth.
Right,
See what I'm saying?
You could tell that devil Bill knew that. That NASA guy. You could tell he's seen some shit, man.
He said it. He said, "All right, guys, I pilots have seen these things." Yeah, you seen it. Come on, you the director of NASA, bro. You know what goes on.
Yeah, they don't need
And
those
they got
lobsters.
telescopes, man. Look, think about the Hubble telescope. They can see planets like far out in the galaxies, man. So they probably seen a chariot destroy a whole planet. It was like, oh shit.
And they're cut the feed too.
Oh, I got a notification right before camp. Actually, the Hubble just saw something. It looked like a spider web weaving light. Wow. And they were like, "What the fuck?" Like the Hubble telescope just picked it up.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to make of it because you know Esau always got an explanation for some shit. Oh, it's a black hole eating a quasar or some shit.
Just come up with
But
terms.
it literally just when they just saw it last night, they were like, it looks like some Halloween stuff out in the heavens.
Lord, that's some signs, man. And hey, remember every time they see church, so they cut the feed. I remember it was a long time ago. It was me and a brother. We was watching this video, the Hubble telescope. Like I guess the ISS, the space station picked up on it. It was these chariots coming towards the satellite, bro, and they cut the feed. As soon as they cut the feed, they showed the aftermath on what the chariots fucked that goddamn thing up. They like literally turned it to Swiss cheese. You saw the chariots coming up, they cut the feed, and by the time they started the feed, whatever telescope or whatever shit that was out there, chariots ate it up, man.
Yeah.
And they had to cut that shit. They know, man. Esau knows. That's why they trying to stop the man. And that's why they want to put that shot in Jake.
Right.
Because they know when they put that shot in Jake, Jake ain't gonna be able to come back. He ain't gonna be able to come to Most High. Like nigga from IUIC. Hey, he took the yacht and nigga said I felt my faith leave, bro.
Damn.
Bro, he said I felt my faith to the point you don't believe in nothing?
Dang.
Like nothing?
Yeah, that's what
heavy witchcraft.
Gates said was inside the shit.
Yeah.
They said it attacked what they call it, the God gene.
VMAT, yep.
But you guys are idiots any damn way. You got all type of forces opposing you, trying to. The scriptures tell you the devil walk about as a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour. What is he trying to devour? Your faith. Really, when it comes to the believers, he's trying to devour and take our faith out of us. So you get tried through women, you get tried through every way imaginable, right? To
Yes.
make you, and you could be on a slow leak and not realize it.
Yeah, so
You can have little things that's fucking with your faith, and then by the time it's prolonged, 5-6 months, you're done. That's why you gotta look out for that shit. And that damn that juice, that spider juice, that's attack of the faith, bro.
And you know what, man? So Cesaria, what the fuck is your problem, man? Promoting that garbage, that bullshit, man. You've been going on too long. You've been going over 2 hours, right?
Yeah, we hit 2 hours a few minutes ago.
Okay. But that
The battery dropping quick. It's saying 5
5
now.
minutes, all right. Well, we gonna just go to the last fight and we'll be done with it, man. Yo, but shit, man, y'all brothers get y'all last precepts, man.
Revelation, you want a Revelation 10 or 19?
19 and 11.
This is Revelation chapter 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he sat, and there, Shalaki, it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had
Many crowds. YAHAWASHI is coming back to take his power, man, on the earth to reign. This is the power of the scriptures we talking about, man.
That's right.
This ain't no goddamn lilac sniffing fucking asshole that they paint him out to be, like Cesare Borgia. This is an austere man with power, and he's coming back with power
That's right.
to take your power.
That's right.
God.
Fucking assholes.
It says many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, and he was clothed in a vesture dipped in blood.
Dipped in blood. So you can put 2 and 2 together. What that means, he's coming for war. He's dipped in blood because he's gonna do a lot of killing. Okay? So is there more, brother?
Yep, and it says, and his name is called the Word of Yahawah.
That's YAHAWASHI.
It says, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon the white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean.
Right, it says the armies of heaven. The smaller ships, man, coming from the father ship.
It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahawah.
And that's destroying you fucking devils, man. And with that, we gonna close out and give all praises and glory and honor to
Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the elders, the apostles, the great millstone, blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Boys, we'll be seeing you another week. Shalom.
Shalom.
Ba ba ba.
Baba ball.